Ever found yourself in a pinch in the kitchen? Don't worry, you're not alone. Many of us have faced challenges in the kitchen, some of which include the ticking clock, the intricacies of a new recipe, or the sudden realization that you're missing a key ingredient. But what if we told you that there are simple yet effective ways to overcome these common hurdles? That's right. In this video, we're going to share some easy-to-follow cooking hacks that can turn your cooking woes into wins. We'll guide you through quick and easy ingredient substitutions, mastering knife skills, and even time-saving strategies. Not only that, but we'll also introduce you to some flavor-enhancing techniques that will take your dishes from good to great. So whether you're a seasoned chef or a cooking enthusiast, these hacks are sure to come in handy. Stay tuned to uncover some of the best-kept secrets of the cooking world. Ever started a recipe only to realize you're missing an ingredient? Fret not. Let's dive into the world of ingredient substitutions. These little lifesavers can keep your culinary journey on track, even when you're missing a key ingredient. And sometimes, they can even give your dish a unique spin. So, let's get started. First up, let's say you're baking and you find out you're out of eggs. No need to panic. Did you know that you can use a combination of vinegar and baking soda instead? That's right. Just mix 1 tablespoon of white vinegar or apple cider vinegar with a teaspoon of baking soda. And voila! You've got yourself an egg substitute that'll work wonders in cakes, muffins, and cookies. Next, let's talk dairy. If you're making a recipe that calls for sour cream and you realize you're fresh out, don't fret. Greek yogurt can come to the rescue. It's creamy, tangy, and a perfect substitute for sour cream, whether you're whipping up a batch of creamy mashed potatoes or adding a dollop to your favorite soup. Moving on to a common baking ingredient, buttermilk. If you're like most home cooks, you probably don't keep this on hand. But guess what? You can make your own. Just add 1 tablespoon of lemon juice or vinegar to a cup of milk. Let it sit for about 5 minutes and there you have it. Homemade buttermilk ready for your pancakes or biscuits. And lastly, for those of you who love spicy foods but find yourself without any fresh chilies, ground cayenne pepper or crushed red pepper flakes can add that desired kick. Just remember, a little goes a long way. So there you have it, folks. Some quick and easy ingredient substitutions that can save the day when you're in a pinch. These little tricks of the trade can keep your cooking and baking on track, and might even introduce you to some new flavor combinations. Remember, necessity is the mother of invention, even in the kitchen. Tired of spending ages chopping vegetables? Well, here's a hack for you. Now, the key to quick and efficient chopping is all in the grip. You might be tempted to hold your kitchen knife like you're about to go on an adventure in the wilderness. But trust me, that's not the way to go. Instead, you want to choke up on the handle a bit. Your thumb and index finger should grip the blade, offering control and precision. The rest of your fingers wrap around the handle, providing balance and support. This is the chef's grip, and it's a game changer. Now that you've got your grip down, let's talk about the other hand, your guiding hand. This is where the claw method comes in. Your fingers should be curled inward, like a claw, gripping the food. Your knuckles, not your fingertips, should be facing the blade. This way, even if you slip, your fingers are out of harm's way. Next, let's talk technique. For long vegetables like carrots or cucumbers, you first want to cut them in half to create a flat base. This prevents them from rolling around and makes your job much easier. For round vegetables like onions or potatoes, cut a thin slice off one side to create a base. Then chop away. Remember, your knife should be doing most of the work, not your arm. Think of it as a rocking motion. The tip of the knife stays on the cutting board while the rest of the blade moves up and down. And finally, practice makes perfect. Start off slow, focusing on your technique. Speed will come with time. You're not in a race, you're in the kitchen. Safety first, always. So there you have it, a crash course in knife skills. You've got your chef's grip, your claw, and your rocking motion. With these techniques in your culinary toolbox, you'll be chopping, dicing, and mincing in no time. With practice, you'll be chopping like a pro in no time. Feel like there aren't enough hours in the day to cook a good meal? Time to change that. One of the most effective strategies to save time in the kitchen is meal prepping. This involves planning and preparing your meals for the entire week in one go. Now, I know it might sound daunting, but trust me, it's a game changer. You can select a day of the week, say Sunday, to chop your veggies, marinate your proteins, and portion everything out into containers. When it's time to cook, all you need to do is assemble and heat. It's as easy as pie, and you'll be amazed at how much time you save during the week. Next up, let's talk about the slow cooker. This handy kitchen gadget is a lifesaver. You can toss in your ingredients before you leave for work in the morning and come home to a hot, ready-to-eat meal. It's perfect for stews, soups, and even some desserts. And the best part, it requires minimal supervision. Now onto freezer-friendly meals. These are dishes that you can make in large batches and freeze for later. Think lasagna, casseroles, or chili. These meals can be a lifesaver on busy nights when you don't have the time or energy to cook from scratch. Just pop them in the oven or microwave and dinner is served. Another time-saving strategy is cooking grains and proteins in bulk. Grains such as rice, quinoa, or pasta, and proteins like chicken or tofu can be cooked in large quantities and used throughout the week in different dishes. This not only saves you time, but also reduces the number of dishes you have to wash. Lastly, consider using versatile ingredients. These are ingredients that can be used in a variety of dishes. For instance, bell peppers can be used in salads, stir-fries, or stuffed for a main dish. The same goes for ingredients like eggs, tomatoes, or potatoes. The more versatile your ingredients, the less time you'll spend thinking about what to cook. Remember, a little planning goes a long way in the kitchen. Want to take your dishes from good to great? Let's talk about flavors. We all know that flavor is the soul of the dish, so how can you enhance and elevate it? Let's dive in. Firstly, seasoning your food properly is a game changer. Salt is a flavor magnifier, and it can do wonders for your dish if used correctly. But remember, it's not just about adding a pinch of salt at the end. Season your ingredients from the start and at every step of the way. It's all about building layers of flavor. And don't forget about your pepper mill. Freshly ground pepper has a far superior taste compared to pre-ground. Moving on, let's talk about herbs. Fresh herbs can add a depth and brightness to your dish that dried herbs simply can't. They have a unique aroma and flavor that can take your dish to the next level. So if you can, always opt for fresh herbs. Add them towards the end of your cooking process to keep their flavor intact. Now, let's unlock the secret of umami, often referred to as the fifth taste. It's the savory, meaty taste found in foods like mushrooms, tomatoes, soy sauce, and cheese. Incorporating umami-rich ingredients into your dishes can make them more satisfying and delicious. Try adding a splash of soy sauce to your soup or grating some Parmesan on your pasta. You'll be amazed by the difference it makes. And finally, remember the golden rule of cooking. Taste as you go. Your palate is the best judge. Adjust the seasoning according to your taste. Add a splash of lemon juice if it needs acidity, a pinch of sugar if it's too tart. You're the artist here, and your dish is your canvas. With these tips, your dishes will be bursting with flavor. So go ahead, experiment, and let your taste buds guide you. After all, the secret to great cooking is all about understanding and enhancing flavors. Now that you're armed with these hacks, it's time to conquer the kitchen. Let's take a quick trip down memory lane, shall we? We started by discovering quick and easy ingredient substitutions that can save the day when you're in a pinch or want to experiment with flavors. Then, we moved on to mastering knife skills, essential for efficient and safe food preparation, not to mention adding a dash of finesse to your dishes. Next, we delved into time-saving strategies that can transform your cooking experience from a time-consuming chore into a swift and enjoyable process. And lastly, we explored flavor-enhancing techniques, the secret sauce to elevating your meals from ordinary to extraordinary. Each of these hacks has a role to play in your culinary journey. So roll up your sleeves, pick up your spatula, and put these tips and tricks to the test in your own kitchen. Remember, the kitchen is your playground. Happy cooking, y'all! Hey there, foodies! If you enjoyed these cooking hacks and found them helpful, don't forget to smash that like button. It helps us to create more content like this. We'd love to hear which hack was your favorite or if you have any of your own to share. So leave a comment down below and let's get the conversation cooking. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to stay updated with more savvy cooking tips and tricks. Remember, every great chef started somewhere, and every hack you learn is a step towards culinary greatness. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy cooking!